So architectural plans have been leaked from the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, Canada. They are building now, under the Trudeau administration, a new facility in Winnipeg. Now, understand Winnipeg is heartland, Canada. It's red state central, okay? They're building this facility that will be the home to a firearms armory, interrogation rooms, this according to the architectural plans, biological labs, media relations offices, I don't even know what this is, controlled quiet rooms, and intelligence facilities. The plans were drawn up by a firm in Winnipeg, and they kind of open a window into what climate enforcement looks like in Canada. Down the hall from the proposed firearms storage rooms are several evidence rooms, interrogation suites with adjacent recording rooms. According to a recently posted Indeed.com ad up in Canada, the ministry is searching to recruit a battalion of climate pollution officers, with the name of the group, the Environmental Enforcement Directorate. Doesn't that sound a little communist, just that? The entire facility is 50,000 square feet. It will house hundreds of ECCC staff, and the Impact Assessment Act is what gave it power. This passed in the final days of Trudeau's majority government, and it gave sweeping power to ministerial enforcement officers. But nobody knew what that was. It was just in that bill, kind of like, the bill we just passed. Nobody really read it. Nobody knew what it was. The IIA empowers agents of the Ministry of Climate Change to enter premises without a warrant to verify compliance or prevent non-compliance with the Climate Change Act. Trudeau's climate police can enter any location that affects the environment to take photographs, access computer systems and communication devices, and direct any person to put any machinery, vehicle, or equipment in the place into operation or shut it down. They may also prohibit entry or access to the location entirely. Got it? Knock, knock. Who's there? We ask the questions here. That is the new climate police. Now, the armory is in Winnipeg, heartland of what? The agricultural region of Canada. Now, this came out just a couple of days after this climate agency dispatched a bunch of the climate enforcers, and they were accused of trespassing on private land in Saskatchewan, trying to collect nitrogen samples. Nitrogen. Oh, that's fertilizer. According to the landowners who confronted the federal agents trespassing on their land, they were told that the purpose of them being there was to test the water in the farmers' dugouts and measure nitrate levels. And they didn't need a warrant to do that because they were the climate police. Trudeau's government recently announced a policy to reduce the use of fertilizer on Canadian farms by 30%. This policy is widely being criticized by those greedy farmers across the country and by provincial governments in the western provinces, with opponents saying it will cripple Canada's food supply, which is exactly why the farmers are protesting in Europe. This coming at the worst possible time for food supply. If you wanted to reduce the surplus population, if you believed that humanity was a blight on the earth, that the earth just couldn't handle all of these people, is there a better way? Is there anything that is out of line with that kind of thinking? Are they doing anything that would stop the death of thousands, millions of people? Or are they adding to the chances that we kill millions of people? You know, your friends and you have to start understanding that that's not a radical question. What have they done to help the average person? Then make a list. What have they done that actually hurts the average person? The IRS in our country is going to be used to hassle and shut down and impoverish small business owners, the middle class, and the lower class. This is not going to affect, millionaires and billionaires unless they have a conservative bent. There's a great, before I get to this, let me just show you some effects, okay? What has been done in the last 10 or 15 years? How is it affecting us? Well, we have the greatest health care in the world. Well, we used to have the greatest health care in the world. Now we have Obamacare. Now we've had the government screw with it. So are we getting better or worse as human beings? Federal report released Wednesday revealed that there has been a precipitous drop in the average life expectancy in America for the second consecutive year. In 2019, the average American was expected at birth to live 78 years and 10 months. That figure dropped to 77 years in 2020. Now the life expectancy for the U.S. population stands at 76 years and 1 month, the lowest it's been since 1996. When I was a kid, my grandfather died at about 65 or 67 years old, and that was old. It's going to be old again. Is it getting better or worse? Well, let's ask the food banks. The food banks all across the country say the demand for food at the food banks is inflation that is destroying households, and it is worse than the worst part of the pandemic, when people weren't working, didn't have money. Californians, is it getting better or worse? Californians urged to avoid charging electric vehicles. Well, didn't your state just say that they're banning the sale of gas-powered vehicles by 2035? What magic fairy dust are they going to fart out of Gavin Newsom's ass that is going to produce all the magic energy that we're going to need? Oh, by the way, California is also wanting to take over the fast food industry. They just passed a bill that Newsom will sign that will create a council to dictate wages and working conditions for fast food restaurants. One of their goals is to make sure that the minimum wage for fast food workers is $22 an hour. $22 an hour.
Wasn't Bernie pitching for 15? So now we're 50% above Bernie.
We are 22. We're 22. Why? Because California has the highest poverty rate of any state in the union. Californians, ask yourself, why?